Sweet. All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming out. This is a pretty special day for us. We've been working really hard for a really long time to bring you this machine. My name is Sam. I'm one of the fabricators responsible for building this thing. And yeah, this is Prosthesis. This is the world's first exoskeletal racing mech. It's human piloted. There's no automation. It's completely up to John to make this thing move. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to the engineer, the dreamer, and the man, your pilot today, Mr. Jonathan Tippett, everybody.
Hey, Maker Faire! How you doing? If you're half as excited as we are to see this thing move, then I don't blame you, because this is the first time we have publicly demonstrated this machine that's been under development for about 12 years. It was incubated at the Eat Art Foundation, which is an educational charity based in Vancouver that sort of supports the creation. Oh, shout out for Eat Art! Did I hear a woot? Anyone see the Mondo spider? Titanoboa? These are the brothers and sisters of Prosthesis. And at the Eat Art Foundation, for about 10 years, we developed the technology through communities like this, hundreds, thousands of volunteer hours, student projects, and then we joined forces with Furrion, which is an electronics and appliance design and engineering company, and they brought us the resources we needed to actually build this dream and make it come true. And it's through Furrion Exobionics that we are going to try and pursue our dream of making a sports league with these machines. Mech racing, mech sports. And what you're seeing here is the very first prototype in that quest. I only figured out how to make this thing walk in December. So, so we just came back from 2 months in the Nevada desert where we were testing. You know, the DNA of this machine is rooted in desert racing, dinosaurs, monster trucks, kind of all mixed up in the crucible of Burning Man, and out came the concept for mech racing. So what we're doing here for you guys is we're basically showing you the learning process. This is going to be pilot drills. We're going to try and walk you through, no pun intended, the various moves that we have to try and string together to get this thing to actually have a walk, and as we figure out what mech racing and mech sports are going to look like. So we're going to start out by putting the feet on the ground, and then we're going to lift these bumper bars here so that the crew can pull off the big ugly black stilts. And then at that point, Sam will walk you through the moves that we're going to try and do as we inch out in towards those really delicate looking barriers. Okay, so I'm going to fire it up. You guys want to see the legs move? Yeah! All right. Okay, the mech is on the ground. We're going to lift the bumper bars, stand back for a sec while I get these things moving. That one? Okay. Back left, going up.
Okay, maybe a little bit of back right.
Back right.
Alright, Curtis, ready for some heavy lifting?
Front right off the ground.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is a mech in the air, standing on its own 4 feet. Can I get a heck yeah? So those big tusks John's moving, those are the impact arms or the bumper bars. So that when we're practicing and we feel like doing a face plant, that's what hits the ground first. There's big hydraulic rams on them that allow you to move them up and down, so you can pull them up into race mode, lower them down into training mode. And as you hit the ground, there's big air shocks that will absorb all the impact, so the pilot doesn't get thrown around too much. You see John moving. Each of his limbs are attached to a leg on the machine. So his shoulder is controlling a hip joint, and his elbow is controlling a knee joint. It's the same with his legs. So there's hydraulic feedback attached to each of his limbs, so that when one of the feet hits the ground, he feels it in his body. So what we're trying to do is create that connection between man and machine, so that the athlete and the machine become one. Basically, we want to be able to ride our own T-Rex. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a chassis roll. It's a pretty slick looking move. And just so you know, this is his first time ever trying to walk on tarmac. We've been in the desert. The ground's a little more forgiving out there. We also don't need rubber on our feet. Which is why we were up all night last night rubberizing them. And that's a step. The trick is to train those moves together so you can get a gait going. So what he's doing is he's creating a tripod with 3 legs, putting another foot down forward and then shifting his weight. Just like that. That's the moonwalk. And that's how you turn your mech. Turns on a dime. So we asked Maker Faire for just enough space to turn around. We want you guys to be as close as possible to this thing. That's the old coochie leg. Not sure what's going on with that one. And that's why we have bumper bars.
Don't worry, we got a guy in the asphalt biz to take care of this for you.
John's gonna start turning any second now.
How do you work this thing?
Oh, yeah, that's the splits. Quick recovery. So,
good idea.
These steps that you're seeing are the result of months of pilot training and machine development. When we first got in this thing, oh yeah, that's the moves right there, folks. Yeah.
Pilot needs a little rest after his first performance in front of thousands of people.
Well done, Jonathan Tippett. That was well done. Let me know when your pressure's all gone, bud, and I'll check out your pump temperature. This machine's all electric, folks. There's no gasoline engine involved in this thing. That would be dinosaur technology. We're working with modern technology. We have electric motors turning hydraulic pumps, being powered by a 200-kilo lithium-ion battery pack that we built ourselves. So sometimes things get a little hot. Am I looking at the wrong pump? Alright, well, you're nice and cool.
It's nice to be back on the West Coast after 2 months in the Nevada desert.
Yeah, apparently the pump's like that. They're running about 30 degrees cooler than they did out there.
That's Celsius.
Alright, Johnny.
Give us a reservoir bleed here.
Yep. All right, John, what do you think? Say we take these folks through some of the moves you've been practicing.
Yeah, so what we just did there was basically pull it out of the parking spot, which is kind of the culmination of a whole bunch of moves that you sequence together. Mech racing or mech piloting is kind of like learning a martial art or playing an instrument, where you have to do drills of the sort of small component moves that come together to make the entire experience or performance. So it's been a really interesting process developing a set of drills to figure out what are the component parts of walking, and not only what are the component parts of walking, but what are the component parts of this strange machine's gait, because it doesn't really have any biological analog. And what we learned is that there are a few sort of key moves. When you have a machine with 4 legs, you can do push-ups with the front legs or the back legs. The next move that comes sort of naturally out of the flow is what we call a chassis roll, which is actually really sweet. If you get your legs in the right position, you can move the pilot moves all of their limbs forward, and what that does is it causes the chassis of the machine to roll. But it takes a lot of coordination to get all of the legs moving forward with the same amount of force and speed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reposition the machine into a proper kind of squat or a stance that will allow us to practice some of those moves and show some slightly more controlled action that eventually gets strung together into a gait. So what we're doing, the level of sort of skill and performance that we've reached so far is what we call a one-step, which, as Sam was describing, you get yourself on 3 legs and then you move 1 leg forward and then you rebalance on 3 different legs and move 1 leg forward. But the goal, the dream, is to get this beast galloping. It's been engineered with massive race suspension and a 200 horsepower power plant to be able to gallop like a gorilla, like 2 legs and 2 legs. We're still some ways away from that, but these are the sort of moves that you have to just practice over and over to master the physical skill that's at the heart of mech racing. Okay, you guys ready for some more moves here? All right. That's your basic push-up.
Trying to do that and have both legs move smoothly and simultaneously is a trick. And so that's kind of the dream we've been chasing for the last couple months in the desert, is trying to get these limbs to cooperate together and have the whole machine kind of be even. Smooth moves down, smooth moves up. Fine-tuning the controls so that the pilot doesn't fall into space when he tries to do a push-up. That's your forward push-up, your backwards push-up.
Then you got a back leg push-up.
What a calf strength involved in that move. You can't really see it right now. Johnny's got amazing.
He tends to buck sometimes. And then you switch it up. Try and do it backwards.
Johnny the Jackhammer, folks.
And my personal favorite, because you get her lined up, is the chassis roll.
Now that's control, folks. Now if you can combine a
push-up and a chassis roll, you have the makings of a lunge. But I'm not that good yet. It usually results in a face plant, which is a much simpler move to master.
The cords.
So the next thing we're going to do...
What happened to the face?
How's our time, Sammy?
About 20 minutes.
We can go that way. We're like, they're going to let us do that.
Is... try and turn around.
That's what the audio guy's done. He took off. Running out of room.
Anyone seen King Kong, where they try and put King Kong in a cage and things go terribly wrong?
Beauty move, that's amazing. Turning on the spot. You can basically turn on the spot.
Bring it
I
up.
don't know what it's doing.
Maybe wind flows.
I think that looks pretty great right there, Johnny. So that truck's 50 feet long, and we just ran the length of it in, what, 15 minutes? Someone do the math for me. How fast are we moving so far? Not quite a sprint, but we're working on it.
They're backing the crowd up.
Want to check the temperature there, Sammy? Oh, it's run time. All right. Well, there you have it, folks. Mech pilot training live in action.